Your language learner is not initiating, and they stand there expecting you to anticipate their wants and needs. But in speech therapy, you see them using all this language, and then the school reports that they're using their words for things you've never seen before. And the harsh truth might be that that language learner might not be confident enough to use the language they know around you. But here are some easy ways to build confidence in a language learner. Number one is create language demand, but do not do this if the language learner is dysregulated. If they're feeling good, feeling neutral, this is a great opportunity to create language demand. Let's say they're standing in front of you and they're not saying anything, they're just looking at you. And usually you would be, oh, what do you need? This. Don't do any of that. Sit in the silence. This will probably feel uncomfortable. I know it did for me when I first became a speech therapist, but it's necessary because it forces them to build up those neural pathways of language and use it when it is needed. When they do use language, try to reinforce it as soon as possible, but don't provide too much praise, too much exaggeration for that action of using language, because that also can be dysregulating for some of our neurodiverse friends. They might become too excited because you're too excited, and it actually causes them to be less likely to use language in the future. A great way to reinforce is to use echolalia. Repeat what they said back to them, even if it's a vocalization. Even if you don't understand it quite yet, it lets them know, I heard you. Your first reaction is to help, and I completely understand that, but the next thing, number two, is let them experiment. Let them say the wrong things. That goes into number three, which is don't shame, which may seem obvious, but it's actually harder than you think. Let's say they said something and you really do not understand what they're trying to say. You might make a confused face, or you might be like, I don't know. And that is not obvious shaming, right? But it does create a negative effect on that language learner. Oh gosh, I used my voice. I was confident in that moment and it kind of got this response that makes me feel weird. So those are the top three things to building confidence. Create language demand and give them processing time. Let them experiment. Let them be wrong. And three, don't shame. Echo what they said back to you, again, even if it's just a vocalization, and try to take that learning experience from there. Remember to meet people where they're at, not where you expect them to be.